Hello everyone, my name is SunRisen, and today we're taking a look at Mesa. So Mesa comes from the Mulis Aladvid boss fight. On Eris, you'll need the blueprint and you'll need the coordinates. While her prime variant is actually much easier to obtain, it comes from Void Relics, as all prime variants do. Her prime variant is outfitted with 2 dashes, a D, a V, and a V in the ore slot. So she is mainly the gunslinger frame, which means she's focusing on damage, but she also has some nice CC and survivability on the side. So we'll take a quick look into the abilities. We have her passive. So it shoots dual wielded sidearms 15% faster, while reloading single firearms 25% faster. It also grants a 50 bonus health when not using a melee weapon. The 50 bonus health really isn't that much, so it's better to still carry a melee weapon with you. Her first ability is Ballistic Battery. When activated, this stores damage caused by guns. When triggered again, that damage is channeled through the next gunshot. So this has a percentage boost, and it does have a buffer limit, unfortunately, so we can only do a set amount of bonus damage. I personally don't use this ability too much, but it can be charged easily with her 4 Peacemakers, which we'll get into a bit. Her second ability, Shooting Gallery, gives ally extra damage while jamming guns of nearby enemies. This power shifts between team members, so it shifts between the 30-second duration base, and it grants a 25% damage bonus. Mesa herself will always have this damage bonus on, while for allies it kind of shifts between a certain duration. The radius is for the jamming radius, which you don't really need to build for. I'd build for more duration and damage, which I'll show you in a bit. So this ability you almost always want to keep on when possible. Shatter Shield envelops Mesa in a barrier of energy, reflecting back incoming bullet damage. This is one of her best abilities. This allows her to be carried towards the end game, besides her Peacemaker, of course. And what this will do will give you damage reduction, and it'll also be based off duration. I'm not entirely sure the radius is right now, and you don't really need to build for that anyways. You want to build for duration and power strength. And this can actually be raised to a 95% damage reduction, which is pretty useful. So you always want this on with Shooting Gallery. These two will keep you alive and keep the damage going. Finally, we have Peacemaker. So with Intense Focus, Mesa draws her regular pistols, shooting down foes in rapid succession. So this will turn your screen to a giant reticle. Any enemy that is in that reticle will be basically gunned down with extreme fire rate. So of course this has a 25 energy drain in the initial cast, and it drains 15 energy per second. This can be reduced with efficiency, of course. It has a damage multiplier from her regulators, which we'll get to that build in a second. And the field of view doesn't get influenced by power range, unfortunately. So that's all of Mesa's abilities. Here's all the base stats. You can pause on the video if you want to see each respective base stats. So this is how regular Mesa looks with no fashion, no nothing. Very nice. We have the prime variant right here, so this is no colors, no changes. This gives more of a golden Orokin feel. And then we have what have I personally fashioned Mesa to look like. For her regulators, so these are pretty much just her pistols that she uses, so we're just gonna do this real quick so you get to see the base stats. So this is mainly a critical pistol, as you can see, with a high fire rate. This accuracy is pretty much 100, so it's whatever you see is gonna get hit by it. So that's always great. 25% crit chance is already pretty good with a 14.8 bullets per second, and 10% stash chance. We want to raise that. It does mainly impact damage, and then same for puncture and slash. They both have the same values. So there's 2 builds. I like using corrosive build because the hardest enemies in the games are generally Grineer. So with this build I have Hornet Strike, Pistol Pestilence, Target Cracker, Convulsion, Barrel Diffusion, Pistol Gambit, Auger Pact, and Pathogen rounds. This will grant a 55% crit chance, a 4.8 multiplier, 31.9% status chance, and a corrosive proc and damage. Corrosive will strip the armor and does much more damage onto armor. So 31%, while it's not exactly a huge amount, because you're firing 14.8 bullets per second, you're pretty much going to get it on almost every shot, honestly. And same with the 55% crit chance, so usually you just see crits anyways. So that's how I like to build my regulators. on to the Mesa build. I have two builds, one for more endgame and one for newer players. For new players, I've got Corrosive Projection, Power Drift, Constitution, Intensify, Vitality, Augur Message, Flow, Augur Secrets, Streamline, and honestly, we can just switch this real quick. Here we go. We've got Continuity. If you have the Prime version, of course, you want to slap that in. So this will give us more energy, more health, 182% duration, 130% efficiency, and 169 power strength. We don't really need to focus on range, so this will allow your one ballistic battery to have more damage, and of course every ability is going to be more efficient. Shielding Gallery, more damage, more duration. Shatter Shield, you get that 95% damage reduction as mentioned earlier, and you can see these have almost give or take a minute, so that's pretty good. And you have Peacemaker, as you see that the energy, you want the energy to kind of go down because it's draining. Duration also helps actually decrease the energy amount, so I'll get into it in our video, but the damage multipliers also increase, so this is pretty good. And then I have my main build. This is an Umbral build, so we've switched out Intensify and Vitality for favors of their Umbral versions. We've also switched out Flow and Prime Continuity, for their primed variants. This will give us 207% duration, still 130% efficiency, and gives us 194% power strength. This will also increase our health by a substantial amount along for energy. Now 531 energy, you don't actually require that amount. I mean 375 I was more than comfortable with using. But this will grant us, of course, more damage and a slightly longer duration. So that's always nice. And that's my Mesa. So I've had the Vasto equipped. I wish you luck in getting your own Mesa Primes or your Mesa. Again, it is on Iris Mutos Alat V. I'll show you the blueprint real quick. There you go. So you want the Mutos Alat V coordinates. This comes from the Derelict. You want nav coordinates, I guess, nanospores and ferrite. You only need one of these, and it takes about 1 hour and 20,000 credits, which isn't too much in this game. And for the planet, go to star chart real quick. It's all the way up here. This will light up once you have a blueprint ready, and this will always stay light. So even if you're trying to get to the arbitrations, you want to fill out all the nodes, this one will always stay blue, so no worries about that. And that is Mesa. I hope you all have a wonderful day. This has been SunRisen. If you like the content, please subscribe, like, and share the video. I'll see you all next time. Bye.